Hello and welcome to another edition of Disgruntled Danny After Dark. Another day, another scandal. Our current government are amazing at how corrupt they are. Any other government would need 2 full terms to achieve what they've already achieved in 15 months. Let's remember, Angela Rayner, the housing minister, had to step down because he was found to be fiddling her taxes, the housing minister, when buying a house. The homelessness minister had to step down because she intentionally made some people homeless. She owns a property and evicted them in order to jack up the rent. The health minister was actually sacked after a leaked WhatsApp message revealed that he said he hoped all the pensioners who didn't vote for him died before the next election. The anti-corruption minister had to step down because she's being investigated for corruption. This is all true. And the transport minister, she resigned not for anything to do with transport, but because she has a criminal conviction for fraud that she failed to declare. And now the Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, Rachel from Accounts, Rachel Thieves, the woman who we all know lied on her CV, who is very economical with the truth, she's all over the news because first of all, it looks like next month in the budget she'll break a manifesto promise and raise taxes. And secondly, she's been renting out a house illegally to the tune of £38,000 a year. Her house, which I think is in Dulwich, in that area, if you want to rent a property out, you need to acquire a landlord licence. And she claims she didn't know that, which is odd given that they were introduced by her fucking department. Now, the Prime Minister, our illustrious leader, Keir Starmer, said it was an honest mistake and the line has been drawn under it. She's committed a fucking crime, Starmer. Can we all use that excuse from now on? Ignorance is not a defence in the face of the law. Of course, he's not going to sack her over this. He needs her in place until her next disastrous budget, where he can blame it all on her and get rid of her then. Of course, Rachel Reeves can rent out her house because, as the Chancellor, she currently lives at number 11 Downing Street, a beautiful property. The only issue is, her next door neighbour is a complete wanker. So the government has lurched through yet another scandal, but today I'm going to talk about what I think is the biggest one. It's an ongoing scandal, and it's about the Prime Minister. It's Starmer's silence on certain topics. Now, usually this is a light-hearted comedy channel. I'll warn you, for the next few minutes, things are going to get dark. On Monday in Uxbridge, there was a triple stabbing. 1 man lost his life and 2 others were injured. And Starmer has said nothing. Now, the accused, and I say that because the man who's been arrested and charged hasn't yet been convicted, is a 22-year-old Afghan who came to this country illegally in the back of a lorry and was then granted asylum. We welcomed him into our country and he went on a killing spree. Nor has Starmer mentioned the recently convicted 47-year-old Somalian man who came to the country in a small boat, and upon having his asylum claim rejected, went into the nearest bank, went up to a random person, a man, a 37-year-old father of 3, and stabbed him to death in broad daylight. And a Sudanese man who came to this country also on a small boat, who claims to be 19 but is actually much older, followed a woman who worked at the asylum hotel he was living in, a hotel that we pay for so he can have a life of absolute luxury. He followed the woman and stabbed her with a screwdriver 23 times, 19 of the blows landing in her head, before going back to the hotel and dancing in the street. And it's now emerging that the parents of the Southport killer, Axel Rudder-Cabana, who was described by the mainstream media as a Welsh choir boy, his parents, who came to this country from Rwanda as refugees, who claimed they had no idea that their son was so twisted. They knew fucking well what was going on. Because He'd been expelled from 2 schools, from one for carrying a knife and from another for beating a fellow pupil with a hockey stick. They asked friends and family not to report him to social services or the law. He was making fucking ricin, a nerve agent. He had an Al-Qaeda training manual, and the knife he used for his brutal murders he bought on the family's Amazon account. He'd also said that there needs to be a white genocide in Britain, and it now transpires today that some members of the British Pakistani Muslim population knew damn well about the grooming gangs but covered it up because they didn't want to side with, and I quote, the white enemy. My question is this: Starmer, what the fuck are you doing? Now, given that the PM couldn't wait to label people as far-right thugs and get people locked up for hurty words on social media, and in the UK we have more people in prison for posts on social media than they do in Russia. I bet Vladimir Putin looks at Keir Starmer and thinks, fucking calm it down, you right-wing freak. Keir Starmer, if you see this video, and please, someone get it to him, what are you doing? You run the country. This cannot go on. Now, if I were in his position, I could stop the small boats tomorrow. I wouldn't be giving the French £500 million for the gendarmes to watch the illegals get into the dinghies. I'd stick the Navy in the channel and say quite simply, any vessel trying to enter British waters with no identifying marks full of military-aged men, those aren't refugees, that's an invasion. And tell the Navy, give them 1 warning shot. If they don't turn back, fucking sink one of them. That would stop it. And I know that's harsh, but something's got to change. People are coming to this country to fucking kill us. And I looked this up. We are under no obligation to provide asylum houses or hotels. The international law says tented accommodation. So just get a massive field, fill it with tents, put a barbed wire perimeter fence around it, and put these people, who we don't know who they are, there. Give them bread and water and have soldiers patrolling. Anyone who tries to get out again, they get 1 warning shot, then drop them. I don't know, some people will call me far right, but no. Our people are being murdered. This cannot go on any longer. And for people saying, oh, they're coming from war-torn countries, no, they aren't. They're coming across the English Channel. If anyone can tell me a direct route from Afghanistan or Sudan to England, then I'll listen to you. They've gone through so many safe countries to get here. And if you're watching this from outside of the UK, I cannot express how much this country has changed in recent years, in particular since Labour took office. The atmosphere of the whole country is on edge because we're waiting for the next bloody attack. And if the government won't protect us, before long the British people will take it into their own hands. We have people living in asylum hotels who apparently don't know how to use a knife and fork. Sorry, they are not compatible with Western society. But no, we're being led by a man with a voice like a dial-up modem who speaks entirely in sound bites. Oh, fixing the foundations, smash the gangs, my father was a toolmaker, release the sausages. Starmer, how about you do something? You're the most powerful man in the United Kingdom. Protect your fucking citizens. And to any whinging lefties watching thinking, well, we have lots of criminals in Britain anyway, yes, we don't need to import any more of them. And the difference is, British criminals don't get put up in luxury hotels. And they're not sent on flower arranging courses, trampolining or driving lessons. And yes, all 3 of those things really happen with illegals. Starmer doesn't get it. People in this country are scared. Because a night out in Britain now goes along the lines of, okay, we'll go have a couple of pints, get a nice meal, maybe go to the cinema, and with any luck we won't get murdered. And it's not just the PM, it's not just the Labour Party, it's the whole fucking system. The recent attack in Manchester, the horrific attack on the synagogue, the police there were looking into the motivation of the attacker. Let me try and lay this out, and I'm not trying to make this light, but if you have a Muslim man drive his car into a crowd of people, get out of said car, brandishing a knife, wearing a fake suicide vest, screaming Allah Akbar, and that man is called Jihad, You don't need Sherlock fucking Holmes to sort it out for you. That was a very dark video. If you made it this far, thank you. I will get back on the comedy very, very soon. Anyway, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you can leave a like, a comment, or share the video, that really helps the algorithm. If you'd like to support me in making these videos, there are links in the description to my Patreon and to buy me a coffee. And as ever, thanks for watching. Stop the small boats tomorrow. If I were in charge, the Dover coastline would look like the first 20 minutes of Saving Private Ryan. Why am I out in the dark wearing all black? I'm not fucking Special Forces. We've got the SBS, the Special Boat Service, the Navy's most elite fighting force. These are men who were trained that if an oil tanker gets hijacked, they can be on it and kill all of the terrorists within a matter of minutes. They can't stop a black rummer dinghy with a 30 horsepower outboard motor. So my question is this, Starmer, what is it? Fuck bollocks. Again, am I missing something here? This country fended off the Nazis in World War II, famously through the Battle of Britain. If a Russian bomber or fighter strays into British airspace, it's immediately intercepted by the RAF in their Eurofighter Typhoons. But we can't stop a rubber fucking dinghy full of people with no identification. Someone make it make sense. I'm not walking much in this video because I can't see a fucking thing. I have to say though, I quite like this look.